My sister Vanessa slid the papers across the cafe table and said, "Dad wanted me to handle everything. You'll get your share when I think you're ready for it." I froze. She leaned forward. "Don't make this ugly, Hannah." My hands started trembling as I realized what she was doing. She wasn't asking me to sign. She was telling me she'd already taken control of everything Dad left behind. "My name's Hannah. I'm 26 years old. I'm a pediatric nurse. I work 12-hour shifts with sick kids and their scared parents. I've never been the flashy one in my family, never the favorite. I was just dependable, quiet, the one who showed up." My sister Vanessa is 32, real estate agent, confident, always dressed like she just walked off a magazine cover. When Dad got sick, she visited twice in 11 months of chemotherapy, hospital stays, and late-night terrors. I was there for all of it. I used every dollar of my savings, burned through all my paid time off, sat with him through the worst nights when he couldn't remember my name but held my hand anyway. I thought that would count for something. I wasn't expecting a reward. I just thought he'd remember who stayed. And he did. He told me. 2 months before he died, he looked at me and said, "It's going to be split equally, you and Vanessa, 50-50. Don't let anyone tell you different." But now, 2 weeks after his funeral, my sister was rewriting history. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. Because what happened next changed everything. The family meeting happened at Vanessa's condo. It wasn't really a meeting. Just me, her, and our mom. No lawyer, no witnesses. Vanessa sat at the head of her dining table like she was running a board meeting. "So," she said, folding her hands, "Dad changed his will the week before he passed. I'll be managing the estate." I blinked. "What? The house, the investments, the savings? It's all going to me. You're getting a cash gift and some personal items." She slid a check across the table. $10,000. I stared at it. "That's not what he told me. He said equal split." Vanessa's smile didn't move. "Maybe he didn't want to hurt your feelings." I turned to Mom. She wouldn't look at me. "Vanessa has more experience with these things," Mom said quietly. I felt the air leave my lungs. "I want to see the will," I said. Vanessa sighed. "I'll send you a copy. But Dad and I talked business, Hannah. You talked feelings. That's just how it was." She pushed the check closer. "Take it now, or probate will cost you more than it's worth." I didn't take it. I left. That night, I saw her Instagram post, a photo of her at Dad's house with the caption, "Settling Dad's estate with grace and family unity. Miss you every day." The comments were full of hearts and praise, everyone telling her how strong she was, how well she was handling everything. I sat in my car and realized something worse than being cheated. She wasn't just stealing my inheritance, she was erasing me from Dad's story. I tried calling Mr. Brennan. He was Dad's lawyer for 20 years. If anyone would know the truth, it was him. Vanessa's response came in a text. "He retired. I'm using my own attorney now." 3 days later, I drove to Dad's house. The locks were changed. I stood on the porch, key in hand, and it didn't work. I called Vanessa. "Liability reasons," she said. "I can't have people coming and going. My stuff is in there. I'll pack it up for you. I want Dad's watch. He promised it to me." There was a pause. "I'll look for it. Things are chaotic right now." The watch never came. I texted her twice. She said she was still looking. Then she stopped replying. A month later, the whole extended family gathered at Vanessa's place. She called it Celebrating Dad's Life. It felt more like a showcase for her new furniture. Aunt Linda pulled me aside in the kitchen. So, honey, what did your dad leave you? Before I could answer, Vanessa appeared. Hannah got a generous cash gift, she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Dad knew she wasn't great with long-term planning, so he kept it simple. The room went silent. Vanessa turned to the others. I'm managing the estate, the investments, the properties. Someone has to step up. The implication was clear. Vanessa was capable. I was a charity case. I didn't say a word. But inside, something started to break. Or maybe it started to harden. 2 months after the funeral, Vanessa called me. Hey, I need help cleaning out the garage. You free Saturday? I should have known better. When I got there, there was an estate sale company tagging everything. You're selling everything? I asked. Vanessa shrugged. It's my house now. I can't keep all this clutter. I walked through the garage and found Dad's record collection, vintage vinyl he'd been collecting since he was a teenager. He used to play them on Sunday mornings. He told me once, "Never sell these, they're not about the money." I picked one up. The guy from the estate company took it from my hands and wrote $4,000 lot on the tag. I turned to Vanessa. Dad said never to sell these. They're worth $4,000, she said. You can buy them if you want. The estate sale workers were watching. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I pulled out my phone and started taking pictures, timestamps, tags, every item. Then I left. I was done begging. It was time to stop asking and start acting. What they didn't know was that 3 months before Dad died, he'd given me something. It was late. I was staying overnight during one of his rough patches. He couldn't sleep, so I sat with him. He reached under his pillow and pulled out a manila envelope. Keep this safe, he said. His voice was weak, but his eyes were clear. Don't tell your sister. If anything happens, you'll need it. I took it. I was too scared to ask why. After he died, I couldn't open it. I was drowning in grief. It sat in my closet for 2 weeks. But after Vanessa's estate sale stunt, I finally looked inside. There was a copy of his will, the real one, dated 2 years earlier, 50-50 split, notarized and witnessed. There was a handwritten letter explaining his wishes, and there was a note with Mr. Brennan's personal contact information. It said, he knows the truth. I'd also been recording my conversations with Vanessa. I live in a one-party consent state. It's legal. One of those recordings was from her talking to her husband in the driveway after the brunch. She said, she'll never fight this. Hannah doesn't have the spine. I'd spent 6 weeks not crying. I'd been documenting, researching, building a case. I found Mr. Brennan's number in Dad's old planner. I called. He answered on the second ring. Hannah, he said, I was wondering when I'd hear from you. We met at his home office. He's semi-retired, but he kept all of Dad's files. Your father never changed his will, he said. I would have been the one to draft it. There's nothing on file. He showed me the official will. Equal split, dated 2 years prior. She's counting on you not checking, he said. That's fraud. He offered to help me pro bono. Out of loyalty to Dad, we built the case. Affidavits from the hospice nurse who said Dad didn't have the mental capacity to change anything that final week. Bank records showing Vanessa withdrew $15,000 from his account without authorization. Documentation of everything she sold against his wishes. Meanwhile, Vanessa kept posting photos of the remodeled kitchen in her house, a new luxury car she credited to smart investments. She even texted me, "Hope you're doing okay. Let me know if you need anything." Then her lawyer sent me a letter. Accept the settlement or face litigation costs that would drain anything I had left. I overheard my mom on the phone with my aunt. Vanessa knows what she's doing. Hannah's always so emotional. That's when Mr. Brennan said, let's set up a meeting. Time to show our hand. The meeting was in a private conference room at Mr. Brennan's law office. Vanessa walked in with her attorney, a guy named Todd who looked like he charged $500 an hour. She was smiling. "I'm glad you're finally being reasonable." Mr. Brennan didn't smile back. "We're here to discuss the fraudulent execution of your father's estate." Todd leaned forward. "That's a serious accusation. You have proof?" Mr. Brennan laid it out. The original will. Notarized, witnessed, legal. His statement that no new will was ever executed. Medical records showing Dad was on morphine and lacked the mental capacity to make legal decisions that final week. Vanessa went pale. "He told me what he wanted," she said. "I have notes." "Notes aren't a legal will," Mr. Brennan said. I reached into my bag and pulled out my phone. I hit play on the recording. Vanessa's voice came through crystal clear. "She'll never fight this. Hannah doesn't have the spine." The room went dead silent. Vanessa stared at me. "You recorded me?" "I documented everything," I said. "The texts, the estate sale, the items Dad said never to sell. You sold them for profit." Mr. Brennan slid another folder across the table. "And there's the $15,000 you withdrew from his account without authorization. That qualifies as theft." Todd was whispering frantically to Vanessa now. She turned to me, desperate. "Hannah, we're sisters. You don't want to drag this out." "You made me feel like I didn't matter to Dad," I said. My voice was steady. "Like I was too stupid to deserve what he wanted me to have. Dad didn't leave me behind. You tried to erase me, but I'm done being erased." Todd advised immediate settlement. The terms were simple. Estate split per the original will. Vanessa returns the $15,000. I get the house, or an equal buyout of assets. Vanessa signed. Her hands were shaking. She wouldn't look at me. She left without saying a word. 3 months later, I moved into Dad's house. I turned his office into a reading nook. I kept the record collection safe. I play them on Sunday mornings, just like he used to. Mom tried to smooth things over. She invited me to dinner like nothing happened. I set a boundary. "I needed you to believe me," I told her. "And you didn't. I'm not angry, but I'm not pretending it didn't happen." Vanessa's social media went silent. No more family unity posts. I heard from a cousin she had financial troubles. She had to return the luxury car. I didn't gloat. I didn't feel victorious. I just felt free. I framed a photo of me and Dad from his last birthday. It's on the mantle now, right next to the record player. For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. I'd spent so long trying to prove I mattered to them. Turns out, I only needed to prove it to myself. If you've ever had to stand up to a family member who underestimated you, hit subscribe and drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. Your voice matters. Where are you watching from? Let me know below. Remember, being kind doesn't mean letting people walk over you. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stand your ground. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.